All right, time to switch gears now to focus on agriculture. Fish, poultry, eggs, milk, dairy, and fish products worth $3.49 billion were imported into Nigeria in the last 2 years, according to data from the International Trade Center. Within the time under review, fish products worth $2.14 billion were imported into the nation, while dairy products valued at $1.35 billion were brought into the country. According to the International Trade Organization, the fish products included live fish, frozen fish, fish fillets, and others. Dairy products imported included milk and cream, buttermilk, curdled milk and cream, yogurt, kefir, and other fermented or acidified milk and cream. This is despite an acknowledgement by stakeholders that the continued importation of fish and dairy products is depleting the nation's foreign reserves and ability of local farmers to sell their product. And of course, continuing this conversation with us is Maazi Chinedumobioha. Thank you for staying with us.
Thank you very much.
Now, Nigeria, despite being rich with vast array of land and all of the agricultural, resources, it looks like we still have to depend on imports to feed.
Yeah, those things you mentioned, I begin to wonder what is actually happening in this country. Despite the large, vast area of land we have in the north, despite a huge sum of money being allocated to farmers in the north, we are still importing all these things you mentioned. The most worrisome, egg. And I begin to ask myself, what is happening? When will the corruption come to an end? If we can, I think there was a time Obasanjo, we had eggs being produced in Obasanjo's farm.
Yes.
And also remember, if I'm not mistaken, that we have Federal University of Agriculture, Umudike, are supposed to be producing all these things. We have other farm settlement areas. I know in Gombe, we have some areas they produce tomato, Dadenkoa. And I knew also that the federal government had been investing money, largely because of agriculture. But unfortunately, we find ourselves still importing. In all you have mentioned, you didn't mention we exported. You didn't mention we exported. The only attempt we made in exporting yam, some tubers of yam sometime, was short-lived, and they returned it back to you. So the government has spent a lot of money, and one of the ways the country can be self-sufficient in feeding of our people is through agriculture. And Nigeria, the government has invested money, allegedly anyway, because they didn't give me.
Because I was going to ask you a question based on that. The federal government still allocates a meager poultry below 2% when it comes to agriculture. This year it was 1.8%, and that's the highest in 4 years, the agriculture. So when you say they're investing, I'm wondering what investment you're talking about.
That's paperwork. The amount you mentioned was paperwork. And they don't forget, actually.
You're saying it's higher in reality.
Yeah, it should be higher. But let me tell you, in honesty, the insecurity is also having a toll on this. Because if a farmer is not allowed, or because of fear of being kidnapped for ransom, nobody will like to go to farm. Insecurity is key. Until we address that insecurity, we still have problem of food production in Nigeria. But the most worrisome is that, remember some of was it last year or 2 years ago, they said our boundaries were shut down. But we still had these things. I mentioned here last time that my favorite, that's a gizzard. I used to buy 1,000 naira. It's now 3,000 something. Frozen fishes, frozen fish are still there. Other frozen foods are there. How do they get in? And we say some of these are banned. How can they? Even our center of the government some of them don't eat our locally produced rice. They don't eat even our own produced chicken and eggs. They import until we get it right. It's unfortunate that at this 21st century we are still importing chicken, fish, milk,
eggs,
etc. in this 21st century. And the government is telling us they are investing more in agriculture. It leaves much to be desired, and that is what we are asking ourselves. Are they deceiving us? There's hunger in the land. Farmers cannot go. Traders cannot go. If they are not, kidnapped, they are raped. Our women are raped. Our girls are raped on the way when they go to farm. So it is not partially, it is not partly their responsibility, because no, it is only the living will go to the farm.
Yeah, but Mazi, aside insecurity, sorry, Samson, aside insecurity, we have the oil spill issue in the southern part of the country.
Exactly.
And these are rich in water resources. But because of the oil spill, the fishes die and all of those issues.
But even when the president came on board, he said he's going to address that issue. A lot of money was mapped out for that. Was it not here, or when they said somebody was, Tampolo was awarded
the contract?
Is it working? We have people who are after their stomach, who are after themselves, and that is why we are suffering. Now, look, everybody, all the states now runs to Abuja at the end of the month. Nobody is interested in the Lagos is trying anywhere. My state,
right.
we used to produce palm oil, cassava, and cold in Enugu. Palm oil.
But we still import palm oil.
We still import that. We still import it. Is that on a shame? Ordinary toothpick you import. Ordinary stick of match you import. What are you not importing? Except even air we import it from the north.
But was the time CBN placed the forex ban on all of these products?
Is it not the same CBN governor that said the 100 million naira that he used to buy this was donated
by farmers?
By farmers. Those he gave. When we want to talk, I said last time, the next president that will be elected, when we want to swear him in, he should hold one, not Bible, not Quran, Amadoha. So that I think we should revisit the issue of Old Testament, where if you commit an offense, you'll be struck dead. I think because Nigeria has gotten to that state that our rulers have finished this country. Why should Nigeria be hungry now? The borders were closed 2 years ago to give room for our locally produced goods to be, to serve us. Still, Nigerians were hungry. How much is a bag of rice, locally produced rice? That's one they call stone free. That's one they call, yes, now Bakaleke now. In my state now you have the one stone free and the other one ordinary. Then you have imported. I was telling you the other day in Sokoto, those areas you can't shut down the borders. Why are we not producing? If we can't export, we should be able to produce what we eat within ourselves. But the reverse is the case. For what is fundamentally wrong is corruption.
For all of the talks, of diversification of the economy by the government, especially towards agriculture from, various agricultural schemes, the most recent was the Anchors Borers program, the pyramid of rice and all. We still have issues of...
The pyramid right in Abuja, where is it now?
Well, I just...
Let me tell you, I was in Gombe. I was in Damaturu. I was also in Geshua. Bamari, this Dabchi, those areas. When you talk about brown beans, you get it in Bamari, you get it at Geshua, brown beans. Granite, you talk about Sokoto, rice and skin, you talk about Sokoto. I happen to live at Emeya, from Emeya, I went to Ajalema, where SCOA had their factory, where they produce rice and skin. In those days, those things have died. Corruption has made them to fold up. They are the leather we are supposed to produce, that's the more you eat, and I eat because I know you enjoy it. I enjoy it. So these things have been on. In those days, nobody bothered about that. In those days, even this Bakaliki rice was what we sold in the East. We were buying it until the imported rice balloon. I mean, what do you call it? Started, the one in packet started coming in. But now we say we have rice production, whatever in KB.
Yes.
We have rice pyramid. By now, was it not last year, early this year? The federal, I mean, the president inaugurated. We saw something that is high as Mountain Kilimanjaro. Still, we don't see rice to eat. We don't see granite. A bottle of granite, how much is it now? 1,005. Well, I like granite. 1,005 in the southeast, 1,002 here, 1,003 in ordinary granite that Sokoto used to produce. Brown beans, white beans, even this wheat.
Mazi,
things have actually fallen apart too. Let's be frank about it. We need to get it right. If you talk about all this agricultural produce, are we not supposed to be feeding ourselves? There was a time, Operation
Feed the Nation.
Feed the Nation.
That was Obasanjo's region.
Obasanjo's region. What has happened to it?
What?
Still, we are spending a lot of money. You talk about what about Obasanjo's farm that's supposed to even be producing egg and the chicken. All these things have.
That's where I'm going to, Mazi. Let's even look at the present rather than the past. Right now,
without the past, there will be no present.
We know quite
without
well.
history, without event, there will be no history.
No doubt about that, Mazi. For all of the talks of diversification and various government policies, as I said, the last one, the Anchors Borough program, we've not seen that robust growth within the agricultural sector. For all of these imports we're making, you want to ask yourself, where is the place of the various government policies that were meant to help farmers improve? Yes, we said insecurity has taken its toll on the growth, especially in the northern part of the nation. But how about the southwest? Yes, it has its own fair share of challenges as well, security challenges. But what has happened to the various government policies that nothing is to be written?
Every person is interested in the oil money. Nobody wants to work. Nobody wants to work. Nobody wants to work at all. The Southwest you talk about, I know in those days, the Southwest produces cocoa and what again, kola nut. And they said the Southwest produce kola nut. The Southerners, the East, celebrate it. The North eats it. In those days, all these things, we are asking people to buy. Who will buy? But these days now, you talk about this, talk about this. It is because the various state governments are still interested in going to Abuja. No one, Lagos is trying, and few other states. But my state, I don't know what they are still producing, whether the palm oil is still there. I'm not sure. Because everybody, that's why they cannot pay salaries. That's why they cannot, the allocation, monthly allocation, is only used for the political appointees. And the local government chairman, they just call, Lagos is trying their local government development anywhere. In my state, there is a particular market, I'm sorry to digress. There's a particular market in my own village. My market is every Saturday. And the local government comes to generate about 250,000 naira every Saturday. But that place is still like that. There's another one in same Isalangwa North. We call it Untea Market. Every 7 days. It's not how much it is. It has been like that since 1970. Even before the war. No development. So the state government only interested, one, who will be the governor, who will be the senator from there, who will be and the intention is oil money going to Abuja. Is it not a shame that we cannot feed ourselves? Is it not a shame that we're importing ordinary eggs? Is it not a shame that we're importing, what about this pomo you are eating? It's not being imported. Cry below the country. Everything we eat, we import. Everything. The only thing we don't import is air. And of course, very soon you'll be importing water. Very soon.
Well, we hope we don't get to that point,
We don't pray unless we got it. Unless, look, don't pray that we don't do it. We don't get to that. But the indices are there. We'll have to be very, very careful this time around. Look at ordinary toothpick. You can't even produce it. Ordinary stick of match, you cannot produce. Nothing is being produced.
We have to wrap up, but let's look at the fact that a lot of these things that we import, we have the capacity to produce them.
We
For
have.
instance,
The corruption has killed it.
It said that even Malaysia, where we import palm oil from, they get the seeds.
They got it from Southeast.
So it's looking like
even this paper, all this paper, even not from here. You have your wheat, they transported
so
it
it's
there.
looking like the same issue we have with crude oil, where we, export crude oil and then we import the finished product. How do you see all of this going away? What's the, sustainable solution to all of this?
Go back to the drawing board. Get good leaders. Without good leaders, leadership is key. Without getting good leaders who will be taking responsibilities, who will throw away self and put the nation first, who will say we have seen and come short of the glory of the Lord. How do we move forward? We need people with dedication. We need people that have the fear of God, who will now say, that time they said we elders were the problem of this country, but we started. No, me, I never took any government appointment. Nobody has given me money. As I've been coming here, do you give me money? And somebody called me, Mazi, you are here. How much are they paying you? They are not paying me anything. iBrand is not paying me. Garage is not paying me. Vision Africa is not. Nobody is paying me anything. I will say the truth. We are in a mess now. We need to get younger people who has electronic brain, who will make sure that, look, I don't know why they removed history. With that event, I was reading, Shoyinka was saying that people misunderstood him by saying that you can't defeat Biafra, right? That's what he said. He said, look, this is a movement. If you kill any Igbo man, his son knows why the Biafra was fighting the war.
Right,
so now, to summarize what I'm saying is that we need to get good people. To me, those who have taken responsibility from 1999 till now should not be involved in this politics. We should get new breed. We should get people who are created in the image of God, who has a fear of God. Because what we are saying is, forget that all of them are the same thing. So we need to get it right by electing new people. Good people, not new only, good people with conscience, human beings, not people, all of them. Look at education.
Mazi, we have to leave it there. Thank you so much for the insights, Mazi Chinedu Mobioha. Have a fantastic day.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me once again. Remember, my birthday is next week.
Of course. Don't worry, we're gearing up for it. We'll take a break. We'll be back to continue the conversation. Don't go anywhere.